Hi, CUIN 7356 students. Welcome to Module 3 of this class. I'm giving you another little intro video here for this class, but I'm not in my normal little studio environment. I apologize for all the stuff that I've got here behind me. But this should still work for us. We should still be able to get a good idea of what we're covering this week. Inside Module 3, what we're talking about is good practices for active learning techniques. So getting your online classroom environment to have a more active, have your students be in a more active role in the learning experience. One of those big modules, big pieces of this module is the idea of flipped learning, but there's a lot of other things going on in there. Let's take a look at the module itself just so we're all on the same page for that. You've got your overview here. If you clicked on that, you get a description of what we're talking about. You are going to be creating you're going to be responding to a request for proposals, an RFP. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. You have readings, videos, strategies, and flipped classroom resources. Each one of those is a wealth of great information inside this course. Go check out each of those areas, check out the great videos, check out the great readings. They're going to give you that knowledge you need to be able to actually do the assignment for this week, as it has been for previous modules. So go in there, check out that information, check out those readings, great material there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into this section here about reading the request for proposals. So let's take a good look at that document so that we're all on the same page for that. One thing I do want to start off by talking about is what an RFP is. So if you're not familiar, a request for proposals is whenever something like a school district or a college or a university, they have a need for something, and so they put out a request for proposals for people to meet that need. For this specific situation, the McNeil Foundation, I think is the way it has it here in this document, is requesting for proposals for a course redesign. Okay, so they have money available to help redesign courses to make the classes in this organization better and more interactive and more active for their students, and so they're willing to pay folks to go in and give them the resources they need in order to redesign courses, and that's what you're responding to. So let's take a good close look at that. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see this is the document you would download. It talks about what they're looking for up here. Relevant terms up here is active learning, flipped instruction, interactive lectures. All of that is material that you're going to be checking out and reading about in the Module 3 documentation. Okay, so check out those readings, check out those videos and those additional resources so you have a good understanding of what each of those elements is so that you can then properly respond to the RFP. Okay, so digging a little bit deeper here, it tells you exactly what a successful application would have in it. So let's talk about this for a second. Successful applications will identify innovative course modules or entire courses to be developed over the next academic year. Proposals from all disciplines and subject areas are welcome, but we are particularly encourage those that deliver some or all of the instruction online. Obviously, this is an online course about issues in online education, so that's what we want you to address for this, okay? Looking a little bit closer, develop ideas with significant potential to enhance teaching effectiveness and student engagement. Include consideration of at least one specific active learning strategy as a pedagogical technique to accommodate newly designed course or delivery approaches. Okay, so that's talking about these key relevant terms up here. You're going to address at least one of those strategies for your course redesign or your specific element that you're changing in your course. Include attention to any necessary or novel skills or digital literacies that students will need to engage in for the new course and that lead to measurable impact on student learning. In other words, the changes that you're going to make, the reason you're making them is because they're going to help students be more successful in your course. All right. It just tells you that you'll have some additional resources available to you, and then it talks through the required materials that you're going to make sure that you include. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, if you go take a look at the Word document inside of here, if we go to Module 3, it says download the template for active learning course redesign. It has all of those requirements for the RFP response. How coincidental that is. So you're going to go check out this document, you're going to download it, you'll do normal things like put your course name, course level, describe the course, and then you're going to get into more of the nitty-gritty of exactly what you are going to be changing about your theoretical course or maybe your real course that you're working with, and how you're going to insert some active learning strategies to help your students be more successful. Looking at number 4 here, describe at least 3 learning goals. So that's the goals of your class. Describe one way, number 5 here, describe one way you will redesign the course in order to use active learning strategies. Okay. Now remember, you're submitting an RFP, you're responding to an RFP, so this is competitive. You want to make sure that you're being very clear. They're not going to have an opportunity to interview you. They're basing it off of this document, so be very clear on the way things were and how you're then going to change them to meet that active learning strategy. Okay. Looking at the document a little bit more, in order to use the active learning strategies to structure the student learning experience through enhanced engagement with course materials, please describe the specific strategy you will use to promote active learning in detail in terms of what you will do as the instructor and what students will be expected to do. Describe one learning outcome that will be enhanced or improved through the course redesign. So you have some basic learning outcomes and goals for the course. How is making that learning activity change to make it more of an active learning experience? How is that going to help your students be more successful in your classroom? Or your classroom environment. Describe one change to current course assignments, so what assignment is going to be changed as a course of this redesign, at least one, and then describe one way that, that it will impact student learning will be measured. So, how are you going to be able to measure that students were either more successful, or how this active learning addition or change helped your course be more effective? Okay, so you're going to fill out that document. Be very professional. It's an RFP. You're hoping to get accepted for what's available, the funds that are available, and be one of the great instructors that gets the help and support in redesigning your course. So that's the basics for Module 3 of CUIN 7356, Issues in Distance Learning, and hope you all have a great week. Thanks.